Hi, folks. So, a continuation from the last one about my wife needs to be someone who has an extreme hunger for God. So, okay, why would this woman love me? I'm now 56 years old. I can't work. I don't have my own home. I have a car that couldn't pass its MOT and no money to fix it. Well, if she is a woman that is incredibly hungry, extremely hungry for God, she will love me because initially I feed her. And I lead her to that relationship with God where a father will feed her. She will understand, at least in part, but a large part, my journey, what I've gone through. She will understand who I am as a person and that worth. She will see me more as God sees me than how the world does. And she will love me immensely because of that. And so, yeah, I have no concerns. I know now, well, I say on YouTube, I watch things where they talk about relationships, and I can now give advice on relationships based upon what God has been speaking to me about with regards to relationships. With regards to all the things he's been speaking to me about. And so I know that if it is God's will for me to have a wife and to have this wife, a wife who has that extreme hunger for him, then yeah, I will have a wife who is and knows she is incredibly blessed. And we will have a fantastic time working out how best to function as a one rather than two individuals. And that's going to be an interesting situation. Because, of course, you've got to learn about each other. I commented on something earlier where I think I said in that video where a woman was pretty much, she was saying how much she gives, how much she does for her man. And yeah, the one thing she didn't do was understand it's personal. That in the early stages, it's about them getting to know each other. And what's going to make the other person smile? What can you do to make them smile? Now, whether that will be a joke, a silly dance, whether that would be making them some food, making them a cup of tea, whatever. It's going to be different depending upon what they need. And you understanding where they are and what they need based upon where they are. But again, it's personal. It's about getting to know and loving, getting to know that person. As I say, it's about having that situation with a partner that you could have spent 20 hours with that person, non-stop, just talking. And at the end of the 20 hours, you are amazed that it's been 20 hours. Because it feels like it's been 2. And you don't want to stop. You don't want to go to sleep. Because you've never met someone like this person. And you just want to get to know them. You just want to know everything you can about them. Yeah. And you learn. Because that's the point. You learn. But yeah. As I said before, one thing is very important. Is that it's not just my job to feed her, it's her job to also feed me spiritually and help me to have a better relationship. It's my job to lift her above my level. If I can lift her higher than I am, she can lift me higher than she is. And we can keep doing that. So therefore we can raise our levels, we can keep going higher with God. Because we understand it's about lifting each other up. It's not about me being above her or her being above me. It's about, okay, for now she can be above me, but her job is to lift me up. So I and them above her. Yeah. And actually, being above or below is irrelevant. Doing what God has called you to do. Being in what God has called you to do. Because again, the world understands that if you have a business and your business raises 200 billion, then you're successful. The world understands that if you've been in business and you've been the one in charge of that business and that business has been successful for 40 years flat, you've been successful. The world loves big. But the world doesn't necessarily look at the fact that the person who's been in business for 40 years and where it made it work for 40 years, that the person who actually trained that person, who that person was actually under for a short time, was the reason that person was able to do that. So God would honour that person who trained them. God would see that person as well. The world doesn't. And so in God's kingdom, God looks at, if your race is a 60 metres hurdles or just a 60 metres indoors, if that's your race, that's the race you're supposed to run. Did you run that to the best of your ability? Yep, cushy. Okay. This other person has a marathon to run. Completely different race, completely different training. It's going to take them longer. It doesn't mean they're better. They have a different race. The one who did the 60 metres was a more explosive runner because you have to be. You have to be a lot more powerful, a lot more explosive, a lot more bang. It's more powerful, but it's over with quicker. So that will be the case with the ministry. No one of those people, no matter what race you're in, according to God, you're no better than someone else who is in another race. If you did the best you can, they did the best they can, you're at the same level. The world sees it differently. But we're supposed to be of God, so we're supposed to see things according to how God sees it, not according to how the world does. Change your understanding. Start seeing things from his point of view. You take care. God bless.